The NFL trade deadline was ended today, this afternoon. So we're going to talk about some of the more smaller transactions, Toddy, briefly, and then we'll get to elaborate on some of the other ones. Rashid Shaheed traded to the Seahawks. We had, so I guess Sauce Gardner is a bigger trade. We had Logan Wilson going to the Cowboys. They also made another trade that we'll elaborate on. And those were kind of like the small trades. Tyler, you remember any smaller trades that happened?
The Niners got Keon White. That was we got him for a seventh.
Oh yeah, that was last week though. Yeah, see Keon White. I'm trying to think of a little bit of smaller trades. I think that might have really those are like the bigger of the small trades.
Yeah, so, nothing really too crazy.
This guy, Toddy said, when the news broke that Sauce Gardner was going to Indy, he said, Sauce is mid. Which is insane. 2 first-round picks. They just paid him. Sauce Gardner hasn't really been what he was when he was a defensive rookie of the year, all-pro. But there's not a lot of guys running around with all-pro on their name. Sauce Gardner is going to be what this defense needed. Shane Steichen is a defensive-minded coach. If anyone can turn him around, it's going to be Shane Steichen. 2 first-round picks is a hefty price, but when you're in the position that they're in now, that's pick 25 and up. Who gives a damn? Fuck them picks. We ain't never seen this team this good. So they're going all in at this very moment. Sauce Gardner is going to come in there and make a difference. This defense has already been one of the best in the NFL. To add a guy like that, to add an all-pro guy like Sauce Gardner is going to be interesting to see. He's going to be there for the next 5 years. So they got guys like Daniel Jones on this offense, Jonathan Taylor, who's arguably offensive player of the year, could be in the MVP ballot. They also traded Adonai Mitchell. So this team is making the moves to go all in. And Toddy, what are your thoughts on the Sauce Gardner trade?
I was shocked because the Jets just gave him a check. They just freshly gave him a bag. Garrett Wilson also got a bag too, so you would think that those were going to be the cornerstone pieces of that Jets team. But then you also had the question mark at quarterback, which was Justin Fields, and you were like, oh, okay, what direction are we really going in here? So for the Jets to get rid of guys in Quentin Williams, to get rid of guys in Sauce Gardner, you're looking at it like, okay, are the Jets trying to get picks for the future, or were they trying to build out with
what they got
with their guys that they already had? So it was kind of like, how are we? What are the Jets doing? We don't know. We never know what the Jets are doing. That's just kind of what it's always been since since Mark Sanchez. They had those 2 years lightning in the bottle, AFC championships, and then they've kind of been trashed the rest of my life. So we never know. Never know what the Jets are doing. As far as the Colts struck lightning. So with the signing and with Daniel Jones in the offseason was kind of like, all right, that's kind of strange. They have Anthony Richardson. You would think they would give Anthony Richardson the keys. That was the complete opposite. Daniel Jones was kind of like, hey, this guy maybe might be good. Well, he might be all right. We're getting a healthy Jonathan Taylor back. I like our receiving core. I like our running back. Our defense is really good. I've always thought the Colts had a solid roster, but the quarterback situation, you had Matt Ryan, you had Phillip Rivers. What the
Gardner Minshew, Carson Wentz.
What are we doing at quarterback? That's damn near like half the league, Kevin. You really look about it. There's a lot of talent on these teams, but when it comes down to that quarterback position, if you don't have the right quarterback, you're pretty much fucked in the NFL.
You said it earlier.
So, I've said it in past. I went on a whole rant about it in the previous podcast. So for them to go out and get Sauce Gardner, they already have Travarius Ward, who I believe is on IR, if I'm not mistaken. They got him in the offseason, and you get a guy in Sauce Gardner. I've been critical of Sauce Gardner on this podcast. I do think he's a very talented corner, but in the last couple of years, he has not played up to the potential that the all-pro, that Kevin is kind of keeps going back to, well, hey, this year he did this, and this year he did that. He was one of the best corners. He was a rookie coming in and being one of the best corners. I don't doubt that isn't true. I just want it to be a lot more consistent than it has been in the past. And I think now that he's on a team that gives a fuck, that's actually winning, they're leading their division currently right now. You woke up, you were 2 and whatever, and now you're 7-2. You got a lot to play for now. So I think we're going to see a rejuvenated Sauce Gardner. We're going to get a lot more. He's going to be a lot more active. I think he's going to be good on a good team. So,
Winning cures all.
I mean, literally, when you start winning, everything changes. So I think now that he's going to a franchise, from a franchise that's poorly run to a franchise that usually is pretty well run for the most part, they're going to get a lot. It's going to be night and day for him. So he's going to go in and he's going to come in and he's going to make things happen. So I mean, I like the trade from a standpoint is you go and get a young corner who is proven to be a top 5 corner in the league. I mean, we gotta see now. My guy Adonai Mitchell, who I love, is going. He wasn't really getting targets. He's going to the Jets, and it's Justin Fields. So I mean, I can't really put what that's going to look like. But I do think Adonai Mitchell is very talented, and I hope the Jets use him correctly. I don't think they will.
I mean, there might be no Garrett Wilson, so he might be able to get the wide receiver one love that he deserves.
So I mean, there's that. But I mean, you got Justin Fields throwing the ball.
We just talked about it, coming from misery.
So I mean, we'll see how that works out.
So we got a comment from Uncle Manny. What do you think about the Cowboys edition? Seems like a little too late. Uncle Manny, I'm happy you said that because Jerry Jones said, Micah Parsons, we don't want to pay you. They get a haul of draft picks. They don't want their cap to be too much. They then go 3-5-1, get embarrassed on Monday Night Football, and then say, well, wait, maybe we are just a defensive player away. Let's go get Quinnen Williams. Let's give away a lot of that draft capital, a first-round pick next year and a second-round pick this year. The Quinnen Williams experiment is going to be great because you get to add him with a guy on this defense. What is the dude's name from the Packers that they got?
I forgot his name.
I cannot think of his name, but the other D linemen, they are going to be an expensive team. But like Uncle Manny said, it might be a little bit too late. You know, you wait so long to make a move like this when you could have made this move earlier in the season. Kenny Clark, yeah. So the pairing of Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams can be very good. But I don't understand. The reason they need an edge rusher is because they traded away Micah Parsons. You then get these picks. You get all this draft capital at a year where you should just say, you know what? Let's keep our picks. Our picks are going to be good picks, and let's bring in some more talent. You then say, fuck them picks, and bring in Quinnen Williams, who is an all-pro defensive tackle coming from the Jets. So this is a very Jerry Jones move. A lot of Cowboys fans are very happy. Is this going to make an impact this season? I don't know. It might be a little bit too late. You're on one of the worst defenses. You got guys that are getting concussions at home, not even telling us how it happened. You got just a lot of abysmal out there. A lot of bad play. They got the corners getting burnt, falling on the ground. Martin Harrison's making them fall. Deron Bland, CeeDee Lamb got caught on the camera going. There's a lot of things going on in Dallas, and I don't know if Quinnen Williams fixes that situation. Like I said, being 3-5-1, it's a little too late. Toddy, what do you think about Logan Wilson coming to the Dallas Cowboys and Quinnen Williams coming to add to that defensive line?
Yeah, after the game, they were asking Jerry about what he's going to do at the trade deadline. He was like, hey, we got something cooking up. He's going to start today. So I thought it was just Logan Wilson, and I was like, all right, Jerry, what are we doing? But I think we could all agree Quinnen Williams is a great player. I think he's one of the best D tackles, one of the better D tackles in the league.
If it ain't Dexter Lawrence, it's Quinnen Williams, so he's up there.
They need a corner. they
need a lot.
Their secondary is atrocious. Kevin and I can be the opposing quarterback might throw for 250 and 2 touchdowns. I mean, this secondary is so bad that they're literally ranked like one of the bottom teams in the league. So, I mean, Quentin Williams can maybe add a little bit of pressure, but they need guys that can cover, and they don't have that. Even when Travion Diggs was there, they were still getting cooked. So, I mean, it's kind of like what corners. They need like off season. They need to go get a corner. They need to draft a corner. They need to do whatever it is that they need to do. They need to get corners. Now, as far as the draft capital that they got from Green Bay for Micah Parsons, it's kind of like you could have just paid Micah Parsons in the long run to kind of just go forward, then go backwards, then go forward, then go 2 steps backwards. It's kind of literally what it looks like. Um, the draft capital that they gave to the Jets was a little bit rich.
A
But
little.
I think what Jerry is kind of admitting to is they don't have a pass rush. But I think what is the Cowboys defense is you don't have a pass rush and you have guys that can't cover. It's not just that, it's everything else on the defense. Because I think the offense is pretty solid and productive from the outside looking in. I mean, like Dak Prescott is one of the top quarterbacks in pass yards. I think um, George Pickens was a great signing, and obviously CeeDee Lamb is CeeDee Lamb. And I do think their backfield has been pretty outstanding this year. So I think the Cowboys have a lot more to worry about on the defensive side than just D line. So Cowboys are 3-5-1, and they got a lot. They got a lot that they need to worry about. So I don't think Quentin Williams is going to save them.
Moving on, one of the winners of free agency has to be the New York Jets or the trade deadline. They had a lot of pieces, and they turned it into a lot of draft picks. I was talking to Toddy. OKC ruined sports because it says, you know what? Let's get all the draft capital, and if a player comes up of immediate impact, we have the capital to get them, or we can play the long game and draft them. They now have the 2026 Indianapolis first-round pick, their 26th first-round pick. They have the Dallas Cowboys second-round pick, and then next year they'll have 3 first-round picks in the Indianapolis Colts pick, the Dallas Cowboys picks, and their pick. So they will have a lot of ammunition to either trade up for a guy or just draft and bring in some talent. Before we move on, I got to talk about the background. You see the Eagles jerseys. We came out here and made moves. Did I think we were going to get Myles Garrett? I did. I thought we were going to pay the price and give him 3 first-round picks. But for us to add a guy like Jalen Phillips, first 2 years injury, but he has been progressively getting better. And his best year of his career with 7.5 sacks in only 8 games before he was hurt was under Vic Fangio. Howie Roseman came out and said, Vic said, this is the guy we need to go get. So, yes, we gave him a 3rd-round pick. Is it a hefty price? Maybe. If we don't sign him and he gets signed to a team, we'll get a complimentary pick. So it's a low risk, high reward. You know, he's on a 1-year deal, or he's on his 5th-year option, so we're gonna have to pay him, or he's gonna hit the open market. So to add to a pass rush that has not been what we wanted it to be, the guys who the lead leaders in quarterback hurries is DeMarcus Lawrence at 9 and Jalen Phillips with 9. So it adds a lot of depth to this edge rushing room. We get to sign, we bring back Brandon Graham, we get Nolan Smith back, we have Jalen Hunt, we have Jalen Carter, we have Jordan Davis. So we have the ammunition to do it by committee. And a lot of people on Eagles Twitter are saying that Howie's making up for the mistake of not signing guys like Milton Williams and Josh Sweat. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of this football season, we are giving Jalen Carter a blank check to become the highest paid defensive tackle to ever play in the NFL. So that's why he's surrounded by guys on 2-year deals. When you got to pay the piper, you got to pay the piper. We have guys like Quentin Mitchell. We have guys like Reed Blankenship. We have guys like Jakobi Dean. We have guys like Cooper DeJean. We have a lot of young guys that we have to pay. So you have to let the old guys walk. Is Josh Sweat a baller? 100%. Is Milt Williams a baller? 100%. Mekhi Becton, CJ Gardner-Johnson, like the names go on and on and on. But when you have a guy like Howie Roseman that hits on these picks, it makes it worth it because we have the talent to recoup. Yes, I said talent, and then I follow it with a guy named Jair Alexander. When the Ravens signed him, I came on here and said, you guys stink. He sucks. You know, low risk, high reward. 7th round draft pick. I told Toddy on the phone, we traded Jair Alexander for Mr. Irrelevant. He's going to be the last pick of the 7th round, and is he going to play on the NFL roster? His name not Brock Purdy, so it might not even touch the NFL. So to get a guy like Jair Alexander to be traded for the 7th round draft pick, he is going to go alongside Quinyon Mitchell, and battle for that cornerback too. Adoree Jackson, Keely Ringo, Michael Carter II, and Jamari Bennett get a chance to battle off for that cornerback too. We've talked about it over and over and over how that cornerback too has been a horrible outlook to the fact that we had to move all pro nickel cornerback to the outside. So we want to keep Cooper DeJean at nickel, but we've seen him play a lot of outside corner, and that's been a reasoning to our defense not looking the same. So can Jair Alexander come in and make an impact? I don't know. But like I said, low risk, high reward. If it works, it works. There's not a world where we resign him. So this is literally a 9-game rental. So if it works out, it works out. Michael Carter II, when he's healthy, plays good. He took a pay cut to get out of the Jets. And we talked about, winning cures everything. So we'll get to kind of see what these players look like. Jair Alexander signed to the Ravens. It was supposed to be this big move. Lamar goes down. They have one of the worst defenses in history, and things just kind of crumble. So can Jair Alexander help us? Yes. Can Michael Carter II help us? Yes. But I think the biggest name from the Eagles trade deadline was Jalen Phillips. Toddy, I know I said a lot. Do you have anything to say about the 3 guys that the Philadelphia Eagles did bring in at the NFL trade deadline?
Told this to Kevin earlier today. Jair Alexander can be virtually invisible the entire rest of the way. But he'll catch an interception in the NFC Championship, and he'll be the best quarterback in football for like 2 weeks. So I think Jair's probably going to – you got no choice but to he got to get in there at some point in time. So I feel like Kevin mentioned Adoree Jackson, who has been benched, and guys like Keely Ringo, who's also been benched. So it's like, Jair, please, just get out there and stay in front of the second receiver. So I think he's probably going to play a lot.
Definitely.